r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. Who is the most dangerous person you have ever met? In the early 2000s I met and got absolutely hammered drunk with Henry Hill, Ray Liotta's character from Goodfellas. Long story short, he made me laugh, told me I reminded him of someone from his past, and pulled me close to him multiple times, and said, "I like you. If you ever need anyone killed, you let me know." He made you laugh? What, is he a clown? He amuses you. Perfect response. Aaron Hernandez hosted me on my recruiting visit to Florida back in 2008. I had a guy in my scout platoon in Afghanistan that was the calmest killer I ever saw in 10 years in. He was the coldest, calmest guy under fire I've ever seen. Never batted an eye, even under heavy fire and ambushes. I never heard him raise his voice, which is very rare for a non-commissioned officer leading Joes. We were on patrol one day, hear the typical snap bang of a sniper taking a shot at us. He whirls with his M4 and fires, dropping a guy off a rooftop with a single shot. Just as calm as anything, he comes over the net to me. B2, this is B4, one enemy killed in action, like he was ordering at a drive-thru. I saw him do that, and many other things, that would send most people barking mad up a tree. But he was just as cold and calm, like he was at a picnic. I'm convinced that man was born to do the job he was in. My husband's grandfather. He used to be old school mafia. He gave me the creeps. My husband didn't like him much. I did the summer work in Alaska thing, and we were drinking in a bar, and met this local dude who took us out in his boat, and then went nuts, and started telling us all to get off his boat, or he'd kill us, in the middle of the sound, and he started throwing his own shit off the boat, and then he started crying, and went back to the dock, and when we told the local cops, they says, "Yeah, you need to avoid Clayton." Dude is in, and out of Alaska Psychiatric Institute for violent shit all the time. We were lucky no one got hurt. Classic Clayton. I worked in a challenging and violent behaviors unit when I worked in a care home. One of our clients was once called by the Daily Record the most dangerous man in Scotland. He didn't seem dangerous to me. Then I read his care file. And I started reminding everyone he was supposed to have 2-person supervision at all times, and we'd all got super slack about that. And I got told I was being silly, that was all years ago. I refused to work with him without a partner present. Some of the other care workers backed me, some didn't. Then there was an incident, and let's just say that nobody was making fun of me after that, and everyone wanted a partner with them when working with him. What was the incident? I'm dancing around enough confidentiality issues as it is, so I can't really be explicit. There was a reason they were to have 24/7 2-person supervision, and the unit staff got slack enough that they started giving line-of-sight supervision in communal area, meaning one member for staff for multiple individuals, because they seemed harmless and compliant. That was a mistake, and people got hurt. Staff got hurt. Clients got hurt. And everyone got reminded as to why we were supposed to know everything he was doing at all times. And that there was to be no opportunity for them to slip off by themselves. Years back a couple of friends and I had just gotten back from kayaking and were at their house in SeaTac, south of Seattle, offloading our kayaks when their neighbor from down the street stopped to talk. His name was Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. Not me, and I wouldn't call it meeting, but my mom was sitting across from one of the September 11th terrorists in Florida on a train or some sort of public transportation. The terrorists were routinely training at the airport. She said some girls were trying to talk with him and flirt with him, and he just looked straight ahead, stone cold, like a dead man. I pulled up a picture of the terrorists and asked her to point him out, and she pointed him out so fast it was disturbing. I looked it up, and her story holds true. My sister was starting college right around the time he was reportedly down there. It was Marwan al-Shehi on flight number 175. Guy I used to use as a laborer just pled guilty to 2 murders from decades ago. Only reason he was caught is because another guy ratted him out to the feds to get leniency for his own unrelated charges. Best laborer I ever had, ironically. My father, I suppose. Child molester, wife beater, serial rapist. Had his license revoked for a decade after several DUIs, one where he crashed his truck through a liquor store. He was a liar, he was a fraud. Grew up in a big Serbian neighborhood. All of the dads fought in the Croatian War of Independence. I did a project in high school about the war and interviewed a couple dads who fought. Terrifying. Also worked with a kid associated with the Taliban, didn't know at the time until he left and was killed by a bomb. Paratrooper from World War II. The man was in demolition and obstacle clearing. He was trained in high explosive creations and applications. He could build a bomb with contents of an average kitchen that could level a house and had done so. Chemical engineer pre-World War II. He had survived D-Day on a glider as part of the Pathfinder's units. He survived the Battle of the Bulge. He once said, "I know for sure that I put 43 men in their grave, but it's likely more. So I owe that to any god up there." He could never watch Saving Private Ryan all the way through. The knife duel to the death at the end of the movie was too real, as he had been in that kind of situation more than once and came out the survivor. He was in his 80s when I met him, and he was still terrifying force to reckon with. The Golden State Killer was a regular shopper at a grocery I was assistant manager at. He was a chill dude who always would come and talk to our store manager every visit. Creeped me out when he was arrested. My ex's father. He was a very violent person. He would beat up his kids with a pipe, force them to eat a lot of food, and, if they vomited, he would force them to eat the vomit. He had a female dog that wasn't fixed. When she got pregnant, he would drown the puppies by putting them in a bag and throwing it in a pond. Then he found Jesus, and now he likes to pretend he's a good guy. But you can see the craziness in his eyes. Like he's constantly angry and about to snap. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening. Tell your friends about me.